Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking something that universally causes an absolute ton of anxiety and panic. That dreaded sudden roadside emergency. And we're going to transform it into a structured, completely manageable process. Seriously, we're building you a roadmap to get out of trouble safely, quickly, and without totally emptying your wallet. Let me put you directly in the driver's seat for just a second. Picture this. You're cruising down the highway, the radio's pumping, your mind is already at your destination, and then suddenly, your engine sputters, a warning light flashes on the dash, and you literally lose all power. How would you react? Are you truly prepared for a sudden breakdown? Most of us kind of like to think we are, right up until the exact moment it actually happens.
Let's ground this in a real-world scenario. Imagine you're driving through Victoria, Australia. You're just passing the brand-new $21.8 million Towing Armstrong Creek Library, which is the stunning new community hub, down in Geelong, when your car just completely dies. You coast over to the side of the road. Traffic is absolutely zooming past you. The immediate stress just hits you like a ton of bricks. Who do you call? Do you just frantically scroll through your phone for the first available tow truck?
Well, please don't panic. Today we are going to walk through the unexpected breakdown, tilt tray versus traditional towing, how to choose a reliable company, understanding those tricky towing costs, and finally, safety rules and insurance.
All right, Section 1, the unexpected breakdown, those crucial first few minutes.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the local history right where we've hypothetically broken down. Biala is actually a Wadawaring word meaning place of many red gums, or red gums speak lots of stories. It's just a beautiful reflection of the area's cultural heritage. But as much as those red gums have stories, your main story right now is about getting your car moving again. So let's look at the actual timeline of your emergency.
The first 5 minutes are absolutely critical. Minute 1, that's when the engine stalls and panic naturally sets in. By minute 3, your entire focus has got to be on moving to safety and securing the vehicle. But look closely at minute 5. Determine the right recovery method. Yep, the very first step after safely stopping is actually figuring out what kind of equipment your specific car needs before you even think about dialing any phone numbers.
Which brings us to Section 2, tilt tray versus traditional towing, knowing your vehicle's needs. Comparing these two methods is super important. Traditional towing usually involves dragging the vehicle by lifting just two wheels off the road. On the flip side, tilt tray transport uses a hydraulic tray that lowers completely to the ground, allowing your vehicle to be gently winched up so it sits completely flat, with all four wheels securely off the road. Why does this matter? Well, if you drive an all-wheel drive vehicle like a Subaru or an Audi, or maybe a low-clearance luxury car, a tilt tray is absolutely essential. Dragging an all-wheel drive car on two wheels, that can cause severe, incredibly expensive transmission or differential damage. You literally have to know what your car requires.
Section 3. Choosing a reliable company.
So the crucial point is, how do we actually vet and select someone you can trust? Here's a simple, three-step, absolutely non-negotiable process to avoid those unlicensed operators. Step 1. Always check for proper licensing and insurance. This just guarantees that if any further damage happens during transport, you are fully covered. Step 2. Confirm they offer 24/7 availability with a rapid response time, ideally 30 minutes. Because let's be real, breakdowns never happen when it's convenient. And Step 3. Demand a transparent, upfront quote to protect yourself from getting scammed.
Let's quickly distill the top green flags for a solid towing company. We already talked about 24/7 availability, transparent pricing, and licensing. But I really want to highlight deep local area knowledge. This is a real game changer. A local driver knows the shortcuts, they know exactly how to navigate nightmare traffic, and they know the dangerous intersections. That local expertise is literally the difference between waiting for hours on a dark, scary highway versus being safely rescued in 30 minutes. Oh, and always check those customer reviews to verify they actually deliver on these promises.
Section 4, understanding towing costs, and more importantly, avoiding hidden fees.
And this brilliantly illustrates the actual pricing baseline in the Geelong area. You've got providers like Elite 247 and Jeek Auto Wreckers starting around $120 per 10 kilometers. Then you see Portside Auto Wreckers at $130, Town and Country Towing covering Werribee to Geelong at $150, scaling up to around $165 for Fast Melbourne Towing who cover most of Victoria. This proves exactly why shopping around for that transparent quote is so vital. The rates clearly vary, and knowing this baseline prevents you from being totally overcharged when you're at your most vulnerable.
But remember this massive takeaway. Affordability shouldn't mean sacrificing reliability. Finding a great price like $120 is fantastic for sure, but making a hasty decision in an emergency without checking reviews or confirming they actually have the right equipment, that can lead to an absolute nightmare. Hidden costs are super prevalent in this industry, so always demand an upfront quote before that truck is dispatched to your location.
All right, moving into the final phase. Section 5, Safety Rules and Insurance. The post-breakdown steps.
Okay, let's talk about the number 40. This represents a recently updated Victorian road rule. It legally requires all motorists to slow right down to 40 kilometers per hour when passing stationary or slow-moving incident response vehicles that are displaying flashing lights. And yes, this absolutely includes tow trucks and roadside assistance vehicles.
If you decide to ignore that rule, you are looking at a jarring penalty, a maximum fine of $961. Wow. But look, this rule isn't just about avoiding a hefty ticket. It is fundamentally there to protect tow truck drivers. These folks are often the very first responders on the scene, stepping out onto incredibly dangerous, high-speed highways to help stranded drivers just like you and me.
If you want to know exactly why that law was updated, you just have to look at these alarming RACV statistics. A staggering 83% of RACV emergency roadside assistance patrols experience a near miss with another vehicle at least once a week while working on the side of the road. Let that sink in for a second. 83%. These roadside workers desperately need us to slow down so they can just do their jobs without the constant fear of harm.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the aftermath. So you've survived the breakdown, your car was safely transported, and you're finally home safe. Now what? Well, partnering with an insurance broker can be a massive, massive relief. Rather than fighting with the insurance companies yourself, which is always a headache, a broker acts as your personal advocate. They manage the entire claim process, from the initial lodgement straight through to finalization, making sure you get a speedy settlement.
As we wrap up this explainer today, I want you to really focus on this quote from our source material. A bit of effort in advance will prepare you for any eventuality. Honestly, that is the core thesis of everything we've talked about today. The absolute best way to handle a panic-inducing breakdown is to prepare long before you ever hear your engine stall. Do your research, understand your vehicle's specific towing needs, and know the local laws. So, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative question. If you broke down right now today, do you have a trusted, licensed, transparently priced towing company saved in your phone? If your answer is no, I highly encourage you to take 5 minutes right now to find one and save their number. Take immediate action so you're fully prepared for your next journey. Stay safe out there, and thanks so much for exploring this topic with me.